Hello lovelies, and welcome to today's video. I'm Aya and I'm so happy that you came by. So today we are going to have a really exciting thing happen because finally, after a really long and very strugglesome wait, the nail salons are open. Melbourne, we're back, and SNS is done. Da, da, da. So of course I could not wait for this opportunity to do an eye look that matches the SNS, which is wicked purple. It's just so pretty. There are specks of orange and gold and silver and even a few little cooler tones like a bit of blue in there and a bit of red. All kinds of things going on. So I'm really excited to bring a beautiful colorful look that will match this beautiful purple thing. And then I've got a purple silvery kind of accent there as well, which will definitely celebrate too. Okay, so I've already done my base. I've got my beautiful, same as always, the tried and tested and cherished and loved Savvy Minerals foundation. I'm wearing the warm 2 because, you know, I've got a little bit of contour using the multitasker, also brows. Thank you, multitasker. You really do multitask. And I've got a lovely generous helping of the misting spray on all the different levels to help with all the setting and all the nourishing. All of those things are ready to go, and really excited to bring you a really fun eye look and really focusing in on that today. So hope you can stick around and watch us create a really colorful purple SNS inspired look. So what I've done to start with is just put a couple of sprays of the misting spray in a little cup like this, just a little plastic cup. I believe this used to be a lid of a foundation of some sort, but it's just such a convenient little vessel, so I've held onto it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ever so slightly dampen my brush with that misting spray. I'm going to start with a color called Prickly Pear, which is this gorgeous purple, and it just happens to match my gorgeous purple nail quite well. So if you guys aren't new here, you'll know, welcome back, you'll know that I don't normally start with a base. I normally start with my creases, but because this is a colored look and this is color inspired, I'm going to start off with my base color. So that beautiful purple. I'm just going to generously apply to the kind of middle to inner corner. Just like that. Always messy to start off with, but we'll build it up into something gorgeous. So I've got 2 eyes all done with step 1. Now I do need to say that even though I am using a priming product today on my eyes, these eyeshadows by Ether Beauty, beautiful Joshua Tree palette, does not need it at all. This is just something for my technique more than anything, but you can absolutely achieve everything you need to achieve with just the palette and nothing more. I'm going to take this little short brush here. I'm kind of enjoying using this. I've pulled it out and I seem to keep on coming back to it time and time again. I'm going to introduce a little bit of mustard. So the color we've got here is Poppy, still the Joshua Tree palette, just that poppy there. And I'm just going to use it in the inner corner. And I'm going to continue with it into the wet line underneath. I'm just going to open up my lid just ever so slightly. I'm not tugging or anything. I'm just pushing a little to open it up and just tapping slightly to avoid touching the actual eyeball or the sclera there. So pretty already. With a small flat brush, I'm going to go into the color Ember Glow. It's this beautiful, soft, coral orangey kind of color. I'm just going to marry up the purple and the poppy just in the corner here, just giving it a bit of a nice warm orange transition. So pretty. I love using a colorful base because it gives the colors a different dimension when you put them on top, whereas if you use a cream base, it's very predictable. I just get this really beautiful kind of duochrome almost effect with these 2 mattes blended together. Next up, using a beautiful dense brush, I'm going to go into another Ether Beauty palette, the Amethyst one, which seems a bit obvious considering we're working with purples. And there's this absolutely gorgeous color called Third Eye, which has a lot of the similar qualities of my nail polish. So I'll just put them side by side like that. Got a lot of the metallics and whatnot in there that I really want to incorporate in my look. So using this beautiful brush, because it's so nice and dense, it's perfect for shimmers, I'm just going to pat it onto the middle of the lid. Isn't that so pretty? I'm going to use a little bit more product and go a little bit underneath, just in the middle. How pretty. I quite love how that Prickly Pear color looks as a base color or an underneath color, so I'm going to just use it with a fluffy brush this time and really go for it on the outer V2. Another really cool trick that I've learned or picked up with these shimmers is you can actually use it with your finger to really intensify. You can see how much more intense it is using a finger than what it is with a brush. So if you ever wanted to go really, really bright with a shimmer, you could just do that. Same thing goes for pressed glitters or anything like that. The finger sometimes just works a little bit more mighty than the brush. I love the orangey yellows mixing with the purples. It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous in a glitter on a purple background, and it's gorgeous blended with the purple. Just the tones are all the same, kind of warm and happy, kind of, I don't know, 90s or 70s. I'm not even sure what era this really vibes for me, but I feel like when I was a kid there was a lot of this stuff around, so probably 90s. Now we're going to go in and do something about this crease though, because right now it's a really pretty colourful look, but there's no real definition to the eye at all. So what we need is a nice little tight crease brush. You can use a nice big one as well, something like that, up to you. I love the control I get with these. I'm going to go in with a gorgeous purpley brown tone called Scented. It's just a really unique colour in that it's quite neutral, but it gives off, you can even tell in the camera, it gives off this purpley kind of vibe. And I'm going to use it to start deepening my crease there. I'm just going to go back for a minute with the yellow colour we used, the mustard poppy colour. I'm just going to extend just outwardly, just recreating that beautiful line there. Such a simple technique, but it really does give a really, really wonderful bright extension to the eye line there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now I still feel like the crease needs to be deeper, but I don't want it to be obvious. So I'm going to go in with a really beautiful neutral colour. This is called Mesquite, at least that's what I keep calling it, right there, top colour. It's something that kind of reminds me of a beautiful coffee or hot chocolate or something like that. It's got those kind of tones to it, very, very natural. Kind of browny, but also kind of into the purple-esque, or maybe a little bit hinting towards the sort of pinky kind of brown, but very deep, very pretty, very smooth. So I'm going to take that colour and just deepen out my outer V. If you're not so sure about your technique, you can use a thin brush if you don't want to risk kind of escaping out the edges, but I don't mind. I love how all her colours in the Ether Beauty palettes just blend and work together so pretty, and just nothing takes away. You know, they're all just adding to each other and making each other more pretty and more vibrant. I'm going to go in with my beautiful Royal Winter palette from Savvy Minerals. My goodness. And I'm just going to go in with my finger into the colour Grace. It's that gorgeous white there, and brighten up that inner corner. I love this colour because it's so versatile. So I take a little detailed face brush as well, go back into Grace and highlight. I'm just going to use a little bit on the brow as well. This gorgeous look is really giving me all the vibes. I'm so excited that I'm really representing these nails, because the colours in the book that we got to choose from were just so beautiful and so abundant, and it had been so long that I just wanted to choose everything. But I'm glad I stuck to something that was, you know, very true to me. So I do need to come back and do something to make this really stand out. And I feel like the best thing to do in these instances is take a little neutral pen, say a grey, or maybe even a blue. Maybe the blue. So this is a navy blue. This is Midnight by Nutrimetics. Just an old favourite that's just in my collection at the moment. So I'm going to go in and actually tightline. Now what that means is I'm going to sit underneath my top lashes and draw away. So when I'm satisfied with how dark my lashes look there, I'm going to go back to the outer corner, go underneath again, but kind of draw it out as well. I'm going to use that poppy line that I have there already as my guide. Looking so pretty. I'm just going to make sure that this inner corner line is extended far enough. I'm not taking away from that glitter that I put there, or the shimmery colour I put there. I'm just kind of extending the way that eye looks. So if you can see already, this eye's got this really sleek long look, whereas this one's just like a bit of a button. So we've just really cleaned it up with that beautiful dark tight line. So I've got two very long sleek lines now. Now what I'm going to do is do my eyeliner now. So what I'm going to do is I don't want to take away from this beautiful shape we've created. So I'm going to stick to that same concept of tight lining. Whoops, unless your pencil breaks. really softly hugging the lashes, but not the whole way down where the lashes come down to, but rather to meet up with that beautiful line that we already created. How's that? Really opens up the line and really kind of lifts up where that definition stops. So larger appearance to the eye, more open look, and definitely ready to get some mascara onto it. Who else has this fascination with how on earth you're supposed to open these things, honestly? I'm just going to use... Okay. Brand new tube of Lash Impact. I love this mascara. It's not even that expensive. It's 30 odd Australian dollars. It's often on a very, very good sale as well. I don't think I've ever paid full price for it. You get 8 ml and it doesn't have too many nasties in there. For as far as mascaras goes, this is a pretty clean one. So I'm going to very, very happily put this on. Now it's not vegan because it's got beeswax in it, but it's otherwise very beautifully made and they do not test on animals. I'm just going to do only the tips as always, really fanning out these lashes and then brushing them out. Now that I'm happy with how much volume we've put there, I'm going to go back in. I don't need to re-dip or anything like that, but I am going to make sure that there's no clumps or anything on my beautiful wand here. How beautiful is this wand, guys? Seriously. Anyway, stop obsessing. I'm going to just add length. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit. While that dries, I'm going to wing out the edges. So this is both top and bottom, making them as long and as curly and as voluminous as I can. Okay, so for the first go, this is as much as I'm going to get. So I don't know if you can see. So hopefully you can get a bit of a glimpse there. Not sure how much the camera's picking up, but that's very, very nice for one coat of mascara. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. Sometimes an eyeball will just behave. Look at that. First go, and you've already got this gorgeous length and you've got this gorgeous fluff and volume from the very first coat. So I'm just go back and make sure that these outer lashes are properly coated for the length of them. This mascara will not give you tarantula eyes at all. It's very, very lovely and it just brushes it out and it doesn't really stick to each other in terms of clumping, but it will let you elongate, and I can come back 20 times I reckon if I wanted to, and just keep on adding length and it just will keep on doing so. And if you ever did get a little clump, you can just brush it out and it will become length rather than clump. It's very light, tiny little touches and just building up the length there. Such a pretty mascara. Anyway, only because I had to open a new one, I'm just going on and on about it. Now I'm going to use a brush I haven't really used in a while. I used it today to blend out my contour, but I haven't kind of gone back to it for ages. It's this really fun, it's got kabuki qualities to it, but it's got this tapering to it a bit like a blush brush does. So I'm going to use it today for my bronzer because I want a really beautiful sun-kissed look. So I'm just going to go right between the highlight and the contour and just warm up that cheek. Just like that. Just gives it that little bit more of a kiss of warmth. With what's left on the brush, I'm just going to go around and just do sort of, not quite the temple, but this sort of over brow bit where the hairline is. And same on this side. Really frames in the forehead and creates a much softer shape to the face, and it gives you this continuous line as well. Really, really pretty. And I kind of liked using a bit more of a denser brush for that sort of thing, especially that I'd already highlighted, so I didn't really want to move the highlighter. I just wanted to add a little bit of warmth on top. So I'm going to use my dry skin serum. Oh, you beautiful thing. I'm going to use a tiny little bit of my finger and moisten my lips. Very dry lips. I've got the heater going all the time. It is so chilly in Melbourne. Goodness me, you would think it's winter or something. Anyway, I'm going to go in with my lip liner. It is a totally lip liner kind of look. I feel like we're summery, we're colourful, but we're also kind of moody and wintry and smoky, and we've got a bit of glitz and a bit of glamour. I don't know, this look is just, because we're inspired by colour rather than a style, it can be anything really, can't it? But I do feel like a bit more of a nude lip would just be perfect here. So exactly over the lip. So I'm not overlining like some of those Instagrammers do. You know who you are. It's pretty for some, but I just don't feel like it suits my face. So when I overline, I just sit right on top of where the colour stops on my lip. So really respecting the shape of the top lip, just softening it up a little bit. With the bottom lip, I'm definitely going to make it a little bit longer because of just the natural kind of shape that I have there, kind of lip. So I'm just hiding a little bit more shadow under here and then going back up with the natural shape of the lip. See what that does there? It just gives it a bit more of a softer look, and it just adds to the kind of accentuating of the center of the face that I'm constantly working on. I'm always darkening the outside and bringing out the inside of the face because I just don't want it to be so broad looking. So done that. I'm going to give it a bit of a dusting of the bronzer. You can also use highlight if you want a really pouty lip. I don't. I want a really nude and neutral lip, so that's what I've just done there. And I'm just going to go in with just any nude lip color on top. I'm going to use a little stouty kind of lip brush there, and this color is literally called Nude. It does have a sort of apricot kind of feel to it, which suits the whole eye look that we have as well. Not too much product, just enough to blend in with the liner that we just applied. And with the lip gloss, because we need to just wetten it up and brighten up that lip. I mean, the oil is doing a lot of the moisture kind of feel, but you also kind of want a moisture look. So I'm just going to take a little bit of lip gloss on my lipstick brush. And there we go. So really, again, focusing on that center, but adding just a little bit of dimension there to the lip. So bringing it back into the 3D spectrum. To finish up, I've just noticed that the eyebrows are not perfect. They're not even. So I'm just going to fix them up quickly off camera, and I'll be right back. I heard somebody, one of the YouTubers I think it was, say recently that she's not going for twins, she's going for sisters, which I just love. That's definitely what we're going for, but my sister and I look nothing alike, so we're not going two sisters. We're kind of going for, you know, kind of twins. Kind of not. Anyway, I just love what this nail inspired color look gave us. It's so simple looking, but it's also so intricate at the same time. I'm kind of blown away by what's come out of this. I love using the blue instead of a black, or instead of, you know, deeper color. And I loved using the pencil instead of a liquid line as well, and tight lining to create that really sultry kind of elongated eye. Really, really pretty. These colors are so vibrant. I'm so obsessed with the palettes, as you guys probably know from previous videos. They're just worth it. Unfortunately, not shipping to Australia at the moment with everything that's going on in the world, but I've got a personal email from the owner who said that it will be back as soon as possible. Just the delays are too much for her to cope with, which is fair enough. Totally understand that. So can't wait. I was going to get a few more products from them, but we'll just have to sit tight until everything has come back to a little bit more, well, normal is a strong word, but a bit more to what we're used to. If you enjoyed today's video, I would love for you to hit that thumbs up down the bottom. It's really encouraging when I know that people who have taken the time to watch my videos did indeed enjoy them. So go ahead and hit like. Leave me a comment if you feel like saying hi or telling me what you thought of this really fun nail inspired look. For more things between my midweek and weekend videos, please head over to Instagram to see a few more bits and pieces of what's going on in the daily life. And last but of course not least, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Go ahead. It's free. I promise. Just hit the subscribe button and YouTube will just tell you that it's midweek or that it's weekend and it's time for another video. Wherever you are around the world, beauties, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're staying safe and staying positive and staying creative. I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye.